Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and today I went on Twitter and said, hit me with your questions, let me know, and I'll answer them in a video. These are some of the questions that I got. Let's get started. When Hope gets married, then has a child, are you going to feel weird knowing that her husband has had sex with your daughter? There's one to get this thing kicked off. So, no, I'm not, but I think that my wife will. We have kind of varying opinions on this, and here's where it comes from. I remember there was one day when my wife and I were getting it on. Yeah, I didn't know how to phrase that. And she's like, would you want your daughter doing this particular, craven, depraved act? And I was like, yes, I would. I want her to enjoy a full, happy life filled with, intimacy and connection, just like I do. I want, her to have that in her, adult married life, because I think it's part of happiness. I think it's a very good thing. And the fact that my wife asked that question makes me think that, I think she'd rather live in a bubble with this, false knowledge that, even 2 kids into it, Hope is still a virgin. So, when I think about that sort of thing, not that I think about it often because that sounds sick and wrong, but I think about it more in terms of, her happiness than, some sort of notion that I'm, holding her down. So there it is. Why do you live stream on YouTube versus Twitch? And the real answer is the customer experience is better. I once held a Facebook poll and said, hey, where would you guys rather see me live stream? And overwhelmingly, Facebook won. And I think you just hear more from the people who want the other side, because I expected Twitch to win. And this was, YouTube did so well in this poll, it even beat F. Kyle, which wins almost every one of my Facebook polls. And it's not money. That's not it. The most profitable way to do live streaming, if you're a big online celebrity, I don't know how to phrase that, is to reach out to Twitch and say, look, I want to make you my primary streaming platform. Set up a subscription model, and then people pay whatever it is, $5 a month, to avoid ads. And then you start running ads all the time. Hit them with an ad between every game, but during your PKA or whatever, and people will either watch those ads or they will pay to avoid the ads. Either way, you're making bucket loads of money. On YouTube, they don't have that same model. But what YouTube does have is it has better videos. I like the Google Hangout thing a lot. I like the integration in there. I guess you could jerry-rig that onto Twitch. But in general, the real answer, the real reason I do it on YouTube is that that's what my subscribers want. I'll probably get a lot of comments here saying, no, that's not what I want. And I think it's just the nature of the deal. People who aren't getting what they want are more likely to speak up. But yeah, it won the poll in a huge margin. And what I want from YouTube is better chat. The chat is delayed and it sort of, rolls in bunches, whereas on Twitch it streams nicely. But sometimes people forget YouTube has better video, and it has an integrated subscription model where you already are, whereas Twitch is off on another website. So why do I do it? Because it's the customer experience that my subscribers asked for. That's why. Are YouTubers setting up their fights against each other just to create controversy and views? As far as I know, not in the gaming community. I love this kill right here. I've heard, and I'm not an expert and I can't name who's who, but I've heard that that's fairly common in the vlog community. That a lot of people hate on each other just to sort of stay relevant. A lot like the way that rap stars do. A lot of rappers, will know that they benefit from the feud going on between each other. I think in the vlog community that happens too. As far as I know, all the stuff that's happened in the gaming community is actually pretty genuine. One thing though that you have to keep in mind is, like your own relationships, you might have an argument with somebody one day, and then that's not necessarily like a take it to your grave blood feud that never ends. And that happens in the gaming community too. People get into an argument, and then because of all the other guys watching it, they feel like it's supposed to last forever, but that's not necessarily the case. So there's your answer. Why all the mic talk? Part of it's a running joke. On Painkiller already, we started talking about mics. It probably went on longer than it should. And then it just became this thing like, oh, this is the best topic ever. Let's talk about mics, etc. And part of it is just because, that's what burns in my head. I like YouTube in a lot of ways, right? I like the video game part of it. I like the commentary part of it. I like having people to talk to. I know Wings of Redemption's talked about this aspect a lot. You know, in day-to-day life, Wings is just a normal guy who people don't pay attention to. His personal Facebook page isn't all that active, yet his Wings of Redemption page is gigantic. You know, that's part of what I like about YouTube. And why all the mic talk? One of the things that I get passionate about on YouTube is the tech side of it. I'm really into it. It's the way that I'm wired. I see, how can I make my video quality better? How exactly does rendering work? You know, what's the difference between the different codecs? How is H.264 different than the Windows media file format? Like, how do these things work? And, audio and audio quality is just one little aspect of making the best videos that I know how to make. So why all the mic talk? Because I burn with passion about YouTube. That's why. Because, I could just as well do codec talk. I could just as well do render settings. I could sit here and debate the pros and cons of how to, color correction. That's one of the aspects that people get into weird hobbies, right? Some guys like photography. Some guys like sports. Some guys like whatever. Lately, my hobby and passion and living has been making YouTube videos. And a little part of that is how to make my audio quality, just what I want it to be. So that's where the mic talk comes from, because I care about this sort of thing. What are some tips on maintaining a steady and happy marriage? I swear the core of it to me, I'm really happy with my marriage. It's a weird thing. My wife just bumped her face on the dog. I don't know if that's a good description. She was bending down to pick something up while our Great Dane, with this gigantic skull of his, was picking up his head, and it collided and hit her in the cheek. And she came into my room with tears and like an ice pack. I had no idea that it happened. And I cared deeply. It was like, oh my gosh, my precious is hurt, in the same way that I would care about my kids. And, I hugged her and supported her, and what do you do about a bump on the face? But to me, that is like the core of it right there, like caring for that other person, and that caring comes in different forms. One is just straight up caring, and the other part is supporting. The things that she does for me, and like in my little YouTube quote unquote career going on, mean a lot to me. The way I was I get stressed when my room is messy. And it's a weird thing. It's like psychotic almost. Like, my desk is overwhelmed. I've got some boxes from things I recently bought, hard drives, on my floor. And I'm telling my wife about it. And I'm like, and she can see that I'm going just a tiny bit mentally insane. So she comes in here with a trash bag and solves the problem. And do you ever get into a state where somehow these simple solutions aren't so simple for you just because they've turned into something stupid in your head? She's like, all right, problem solved, fixed it. I'm helping my husband. And it's that kind of mutual sort of support and caring and helping each other that to me is the core thing of a happy and steady marriage. I want her to do well. She wants me to do well. I want her to be happy. That's what it's all about. So, that's that. And part of it, you have to work at it. You have to sit there and be like, all right, she's important to me. And even if I don't feel like hanging out and talking to her at this second, it's what we're going to be doing because she needs it. So, there you have it. That's my key to a happy and steady marriage. Let's get one more. Oh, okay. Gives you another show you could do, like Tuesday Tweets. I can't wait to see it. That's an interesting thought. Do you guys think this would be a cool weekly series where I answered your questions? And what kind of questions would you like to see answered? I do something like Mail Monday, so I wouldn't want them to be, friend zone advice. But if you guys wanted to hear about YouTube, what's burning in minds, what I think about games, let me know if you think this would be a cool idea for a weekly series. We could try it on and see if it fits. I don't know what day it would be, but Thursday tweets? I'm not sure. But yeah, so I don't know. Give me some feedback. Let me know how I can do this and what the best way possible to do it would be. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give me a like and let me know in the comments what you thought of it. I'm thinking about doing this more often and a way to keep in touch with fans and stuff. On the right side, tonight is movie night at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, 1:30 and 2:30 in Europe, depending on where you are. You can sign up for Netflix for free. We're going to watch Iron Man 2 as a group and hang out and talk and chat and do our thing. It should be fun. On the left, video, is Borderlands 2 worth buying? And on the top right, if you like this, you can click on subscribe and have a good day.